Good evening, everybody. It is Monday night, which means we are racing once again here at SARCO. I've got Stephen in the commentary box. He's going to be doing the commentary for the Bravateer with me. And special guest Ashley Miley has joined us in the commentary box. He'll be jumping in with Memo for the Alpha tier a little bit later on. Stephen, how are you doing? And more importantly, Ashley, how are you doing?
All good, Del. It's another Monday night. Can't wait to get racing.
How's it, everyone? Hello, Dylan. Hello, Stephen. Yes, I wouldn't say a special guest, but it is good.
Our long-lost guest.
It is good to be back, and I'm just looking at the website now. And I'm looking at the race format for tonight, and it looks very intriguing. I can't wait. It looks like it's going to be a very exciting one.
No, look, it definitely did catch some of the guys last week. This new little sprint race that we got up front definitely sets up the pace for the second race, which is slightly longer. There is a mandatory pit stop in there, so some of the guys were caught up in those last couple of laps. So it definitely is going to be interesting. We have given a thumbs up. We are just waiting to get the guys racing. So I see that there are 13 drivers in that lobby. So hopefully we will be able to just cut across there and get this first sprint race underway. Really looking forward to this one.
That's great. And tonight I see we're coming to you virtually live from Hockenheim. One of the greatest tracks of all time, and we've seen through the ages how it has changed from the older circuit to the newer circuit, which has been a lot more exciting, especially for some of the formats we've seen in the GT3s as well as Formula 1 and all the various forms of racing. I'm just looking on the screen at the moment, and I'm not getting any video feedback.
That will be going up shortly. They've just been giving us the approvals, so the approvals have been done. So Chase's machine is officially the broadcaster. Stephen, just need to remind them that you are the director this evening, and I'm sure that's what they're waiting for. And we will get racing. I must say I did do some laps this weekend, and that short track. There's a little section coming through turn number 5 and 6, and oh my gosh, that car is so loose on the brakes. You've got to really get that car slowed down very early to make the little chicane section before you start heading back into the... I see that we are up and running. The screen is now officially loading, so let's just cut there, and Ashley, I will get this stream up for you, so that at least you're able to see exactly what we're seeing in live time.
Excellent, thank you very much. Also, another thing that I've noticed from the website is that we have a different car selection for each race. So last race, I see that you guys used the Nissan Fairlady, one of my favorite cars. And this evening, it is the Mercedes AMG A45 SMS or a touring car. Wow, that's a bit of a mouthful, but also a nice car to drive around, and I'm sure we're going to see very close battles this evening, especially a little bit later in the Alpha tier. And Dylan, will you be participating a little bit later?
I will, yes, and I have been putting in some lap times there, so hoping that I'm able to do a little bit better than I did last week. I did struggle a little bit. I just felt a little bit unprepared, but at least I've got no excuses but to just get my head down and get racing.
No, I can't wait to watch that race a little bit later on this evening. Just a reminder to the viewers out there, if you want to get involved, if you want to come and join the likes of Dylan on the racetrack and Stephen, check out the website. It's sarcoracing.co.za. There you'll see all the league details, and you can sign up and register for those leagues. I'm not too sure if there is any more space for the current Project Cars League, but I think there are one or two spaces available for a set of courses. So if you do want to come join us, please check out our website.
Thank you very much for that. But we are currently racing race number 1, and a big bump there going into the first corner. And in the driver's briefing, we did caution the drivers that it is very, very tight out there. Well, some drivers making a little bit of a mistake, knowing that we're on the short version first up. But out in front is Dane. Then we've got two killers. We've got Killer Dave and we've got Killer 123. So we're going to have to just jump between those two. So currently we've got Killer Dave. That's Dave in second place, with one of our newcomers in third place. Silverback is in fourth, with Reese in fifth, Duncan in sixth place, Sly Pete down in seventh, Memo is eighth. Then we've got, oh sorry, that's James in fourth place. Then Silverback, Raf in ninth place, Tyron in 10th, Yanni, he's in 11th place, Colin down in 12th. We saw a little mistake about one of the drivers and just rotating him. And then down in 13th place is St. Jim. Jim down in 13th, a newcomer to the series as well.
Oh my word, I don't know who any of these drivers are, so this is going to be interesting. Yeah, so Rebellion 23, I guess, yeah, I wish I had a cheat sheet in front of me at the moment, but guys, if I don't get your names right, please forgive me. Yeah, I think I'll just call you by your alias.
Side by side there with Colin, and Colin, it looks like he has been able to hang on to that position. So Colin, dropping down to 12th place. Car's going wide, and that's part of the problem with that corner. Is once that car lets go, you unfortunately are a complete passenger. And it is very difficult to get the car under control once it does touch the grass on the outside.
Very close driving here in the first couple of laps, and you can see how those guys, because they're getting so close, and because how twitchy the rear end of their car is, it's making it a little bit difficult to maintain the distance between each other, and obviously those guys colliding. But a good quick lap there from our leader. It looks like Dane, if I'm not mistaken, out in front at the moment with the top. But we see is that James and
that looked like James and Reese. Reese now dropping down into 6th place, which has allowed Pete to go up. And the guys really battling to come to terms with this car on the brakes. It looks like those cars are locking up. The rear is definitely stepping out, and it is one of the things about this car is that you've got to just be so careful on the brakes. As we can see, Yanni getting it very sideways, and this corner is definitely going to be one to watch out in both the Bravo tier now and the Alpha tier a little bit later on.
It's almost like the rear brakes or maybe the brake bias is not completely set correctly at the moment. And I don't know if the guys, I don't know if Dylan, if you managed to check if you're able to set the brake bias while you're driving for this particular format.
So to be honest, I haven't even played with the brake bias at all. Stephen, I don't know if you were able to.
Yeah, I have. I've played a lot with the brake bias. So, but it's not much with the brake bias. This car is a front-wheel drive car, so when you drop a gear, that traction just goes straight to the front wheels. You've got that nose that just pulls you in. It is exactly like a go-kart right now, and these guys, they haven't done enough laps to find out what this car is able to do, and that is why the guys are messing up tonight.
Yeah, it just appears in that particular corner. They all seem to be battling, and I think that's what you mentioned earlier, Dylan, is that on that particular corner you're struggling a bit. But yeah, like you say, just easy on the brakes.
And the interesting thing though, Ashley, is that you can actually go through that corner flat, but you got to just point that car into the corner. You can't flick it. As soon as you flick it, that rear steps out, and that's going to be putting you directly onto the grass. And it basically just comes down to that. If you're locking up the brakes, if you're trying to brake through there, if you're gearing down, you're getting rid of all your traction. The advice that I would give to the guys is rather come off the power before you turn in and rather get on the power. getting the traction in the front as opposed to trying to hold that grip through the corner with no power on. Oh, on the curb was Tyron. That was very close, and that car can just snap onto the wall on the inside there. So I'm pretty happy that he was able to get away from that.
So out in front at the moment, we still have these two. It looks like James and Killer.
Well, no, the thing is that we had Dane that was out in front, and I see he's dropped down to 6th, though not sure whether there was a mistake there for him, which has now forced him further down, because we've got James who's in 1st place. Just jump there to 2nd. Okay, so that is Dave, that is Killer D in 2nd place, then Reese in 3rd, Pete in 4th, Ruff in 5th, and then Dane in 6th place, with Killer a 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. He's down in a 7th position.
So I'm just noticing that looks like James has picked up a penalty there. So I wonder what sort of penalty he has there, and if it is a 1 second penalty. So Killer D just needs to basically keep that gap less than 1 second, and you'll pick up the race win. But we've still got 8.5 minutes left of this race. It's still anyone's race, and judging by the guys how they handling those some of those corners, it's a very tricky race so far.
And look, I think now that the guys have settled down, and this is what we're trying to get across in the driver's briefing, is that if there's lots of cars around you, rather just make the space, rather just look where the guy is a little bit under pressure, as opposed to trying to go 2 wide, 3 wide into some of the corners, because it's at this point where you now can get into a rhythm, you can apply pressure on that driver in front of you, and this is where you can start picking up places for your own race.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's called racecraft, and the guys will start to learn that as they progress.
Oh, great move on the inside as Reese moves up into 2nd place. Great move there by Reese. And Dave just, fortunately, that little kick left and right on the curb as he went through turn number 1 just slowed him up. Reese had the momentum and just planted the car on the inside for the overtake.
Yeah, absolutely. Killer move there by Reese. And the next target is James. So let's see if he can keep the pressure. Seems to have a lot of pressure from behind, but let's see if he can catch the driver out in front.
Yeah, I think Pete's definitely going to be putting a lot of pressure. You can see how close he's getting behind Killer D. It all depends on whether he's able to get a good drive through the last 2 corners, get that power on nice and early. And this is where Dave did make that mistake going in turn number 1, and you've got to be so careful here.
I was actually watching Slight Pete's times a little bit earlier, and he seems to be a little bit quicker than
so
most of the guys.
Pete moving up onto the inside. Killer Dave, unfortunately, you're losing another place in the very same corner, and Pete now moves himself up into 3rd.
Very good move there by Sly Pete.
So just having a look at what's coming through in terms of the chat. Peter Hardeman, he gets first dibs this evening, saying enjoy boys. Clayton, my brother, saying evening guys. We've got Stephen LaRue, good evening everyone, welcome Stephen. Christina Wu, RW of 4L. Don't know what that means. But welcome. Oh, I know what that is. Those are all the porn channels starting to come through now. That's what that is. Got you.
Right.
Stephen LaRue saying, go Killer Dave. We know exactly who Stephen. I'm not even going to mention the Russian ones that are coming through here as well. Greg Campbell saying, can't wait to get back into this. Saying, hi everyone from Ireland. So we have been chatting. Looks like we'll be getting Greg Campbell back racing with us now that he's settled in Ireland. And then we've got Rudy Bay saying, not an easy car, but when you get it right, it is fun.
Definitely. This car is a little bit of a handful, but once those tires start warming up, we are foot flat.
I see Nassif has just joined us saying, good evening, good racing so far. It has been a very rough start there, Nassif, but I honestly thought that you were joining us this evening. We're going to try and get you some invites, but hopefully you can join us next week. Then we've got Steve Perry SA. He's saying Reese Wilfred's a machine, currently in second place. So Steve, I'll definitely give that to you. But it all depends what is going to happen in the next race. Remember, guys, the top 6 do a bit of a reverse grid, and that is where the maximum points can be scored. The top 6 here are basically score a bonus point, which this is basically seen as your qualifying race, with the top 6 getting that little bonus point. So it is going to be very interesting in how the points add up through the season. And just under 4 minutes left to go. We've got Raf out in front, Reese in second place, Pete is in third. We've got Silverback, that is Raf, actual name Raf. He's in fourth place with the 2 killers in fifth and sixth, which means that Dane, he was in sixth place, and I've seen that he's now just dropped down the order. So another possible mistake there for Dane. You can see damage on the front of that car, rear locking up, and unfortunately Dane going off. Colin in 9th place with Tyron in 10th position, Cutting Beef Duncan in 11th place, and then St. Jim, he's in 12th place with Memo down in 13th position.
Now, looking at his times up in front there at the moment, and Sly Pete did have the quickest time there, but I see the guys behind Sly Pete now doing a 1:08.1. I think that's probably one of the quickest times we've seen this evening. So he's now seems to find a good rhythm and putting in those good laps. That'll be quite interesting for the second race. He'll be starting down in 3rd position. So with those times, yeah, we're going to see a great battle out in front.
Oh, that was very sneaky there by Tyron. Just trying to get a nose in there, but Colin not having anything of that. And Colin hanging on to that position in a 9th position.
Yeah, that was a very scary move on the inside there.
So I see Sarav at number 10 has come in to say happy birthday, Reese. So it looks like it is Reese's birthday as... Oh,
that's
just losing it.
Tyron shows us how tricky that little section is there. Marshall Steve the Flum, he's saying Lacquer boys have a good one, can't wait to get into these lobbies. And he's saying if flat out come on chasing beavers. So we know exactly who he is supporting this evening. So still out in first place is James, followed by Reese. Now just under 4 seconds is the gap there, so he is definitely pulling away. Pete in third, Silverback in 4th place, then a Killer, I'm not too sure which killer that is.
One of the killers.
One of the killers, who's that? That's 4th
Killer
place,
D.
that's Killer D, so that's Dave in 5th place. And we've got Killer 1 2 3 4 3 4. Try to say that fast.
Very creative alias for them. So yeah, we see Sly Pete, a good battle between Reese, Sly Pete, and that Silverback. And this is for, I would say, 2nd position at the moment.
This is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place.
Yeah.
And we're now on the final lap.
On the final lap.
lap.
So yeah, this is going to be interesting. I don't think these guys are going to be able to catch old James out in front. But this is going to be one interesting... right then you see Silverback all over the back of Sly Pete there. Sly Pete looking for a way past Reese. And we're going down to the tricky corner. These guys getting a bit sideways. That manages to hold.
Big
the
lock
rear.
up there for
Sly
Pete.
goes
And
wide.
that's going to
And
put Raf on the inside through the chicane. Little touchy there.
Yeah, that was very close, and both drivers very fortunate in not taking each other out. So good clean racing all around there, and it looks like Sly Pete has lost that 3rd position to the Silverback. But if we head down to the front, we'll see our race leader should be crossing the line now. How much time is
there? He goes. That's it. He's just crossed the line. So James comes home in first place with Reese in second, Silverback in third with Sly Pete in fourth, and it just shows you just that little mistake there, which just opened the door there for Raf, and he was able to just put his car right up against Pete and take that position. Then
I think that position was inevitable. If you look at Sly Pete, did have a time penalty, so I mean either way. But nevertheless, it was a great finish to that to the sprint race there. Still some guys on this track. If you see the guys crossing the line now, that's Rebellion just in front of him. I think that's Colin.
It was Colin, and then Dane down in 10th place. Dane getting the whole shot, leading for a couple of laps and dropping down to 6th.
Yeah, it looks like he picked up quite a bit of damage there. So there you have it, race results. I'll let you do the honors because I don't know any of these guys.
So we'll start off in first place. That is James, followed by Reese in second. It is Raf in third place with Pete in fourth. Dave in fifth place with Killer 123434 in sixth place. He did tell me his name earlier, and for the life of me, it has just slipped my memory. We've got Yanni in a seventh place, Colin in eighth, Tyron in a ninth, Dane in 10th, and unfortunately just missing the cutoff for the 12th, 11th, and 12th place.
Yeah, very interesting race, that one, especially down that one corner where we see a lot of the mistakes are happening in that one corner. So, yeah, pity about those mistakes. But, yeah, we can just hope and see what the guys are going to give us in Hockenheim GP.
Yeah, I'm quite excited for the next race. And
I just hope that the guys now remember that they're going onto the longer track, because it did look like some of them had forgotten that they needed to turn to the right hand side.
yeah, a lot of them did forget to turn in a little bit earlier than expected, but yes, well, we just what they can do on Hockenheim GP now, because let's see how quick and less mistakes the guys can do, because this track is a very tricky track, as we have all driven it before. So yeah,
watching the German touring cars or DTM on this track last year, it wasn't the easiest track to overtake on. I think where we're going to see the most overtakes is down into the hairpin. That's where usually people can see who gets on the brakes the latest, or to force the driver into the mistake and let them run wide, and that seems to be one of the overtaking points. So yeah, let's see in this race if we can see a similar battle to what we saw in the GTMs.
Yeah, no, overtaking on this track is very difficult. Like you said, you have to force the mistake, or you just got to be a little bit quicker on your exit of your corner. So yes, that's where you are going to overtake, and I think the slipstream will also help quite a bit.
Most definitely. Exit speed here is key, especially on going into sector 2. It is a massive long run into the hairpin, and if you get that exit coming out of the little S, you are able to carry a lot of speed, get into a slipstream, and set yourself up. From there, it's just about single file all the way back to the start-finish line. You could possibly have a go into turn number 2, provided you get a good run through the little kink in turn 1. But then again, is how hard are you pushing through there? Because I've seen it go very, very wrong there. Not only just watching the practice, but for myself as well.
I got a feeling that the Bravo Tier guys are going to prove us all wrong.
Yes, that's what we want.
And they're gonna show
Yeah.
us how it's done. Yeah, so like we were saying, it's some new drivers that join us this season, and yeah, I think we're gonna see some new exciting drivers coming through the fields, and soon be knocking on the heels of those alpha tier drivers. That's what you want. We want competition. We want the best drivers to come and take on the best. And yeah, guys, if you want to come and join, remember, check out our website. Tell your mates, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your family members. The more the merrier. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, as we have heard it from Dolden, the guys will be doing a full formation lap where the top 6 drivers in the last sprint race will have now a reverse grid. So from your first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, which will mean that 6th place will have pole. It's going to be very interesting.
So I'm pretty interested to see how Silverback's gonna fare in the next race. Judging by his times in the first race, he was he was really on the pace and was pressuring the guys up front. And I think if we had a little bit more time, he may have caught James. So he'll be starting down in third position. Sorry, the third or fourth position.
Yeah, so it's Killer 1 2 3 4 3 4. He's in pole, followed by Dave in second. Pete is in third. Then it is Raf in fourth, Reese in fifth, and then James in sixth place, followed by Yanni, Colin, Rebellion, Dane, and then I think it was Jim, then Memo down in 11th and 12th respectively.
Yeah.
So what are your laptops been around here, Dylan?
So on the short track, I was doing 106s.
Wow.
On the longer track, we gonna be looking at around about a 48 for the alpha tier. I was just breaking into those 48s, and look, we might even see some 47s.
Well, definitely looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a very exciting race.
So
it's going to be top notch.
Looking at the stream, and who's joined us, Brandon Hill saying Hoi Millies AF, as well as Brandon Smith. He's saying evening Lance, evening Brandon, and Brandon, welcome. So I just hope the guys, we did give them a quick little reminder that it is a full formation lap, just to allow everybody to get into position. So just checking that everyone's pulling off nice and slowly. So it looks like that the brief was heard. Look, as much as we like to believe that everybody heard it, sometimes that people don't, and we get somebody from the mid pack that decides to just gee gas and then lands up going through about three drivers. This always does make an interesting start for your race.
No, it does. Very, very frustrating race. But yes, we do have incidents like that.
And we do try and limit the amount of incidents that we do have, and hence a rolling start for the second race. It definitely does make the first couple of corners a lot less congested, for the lack of a better word, I'd say.
Yeah, a little bit more discipline. I think that's guys are not getting crazy into the first corner. They're not crowding each other. We start sort of a single file and just keep it civilized for the first couple of corners.
I must say there is something about this car when you going through the gears and just the way that turbo sounds, and when you're gearing down, that little kick that you're getting from that dump valve, it does sound quite spectacular.
No, it does. It does.
I would definitely pay to watch these guys live. I think must be one of the exciting series. It's quite unfortunate that we don't have something like this in South Africa. Like we used to have, I think, with the Polo Cup. Did they still do that? I don't even know.
Yeah, they do still do the Polo Cup.
Yeah, the rules don't get that anymore.
All right, guys, if you've just joined us, we are around number 2. And that is of the Bravo tier here now on the full lap of the GP circuit of Hockenheim. We've got one more corner to go and we will be racing. We've got the 2 killers out in front, then a Sly Pete, Silverback, Reese and James. And we are now racing here at Hockenheim for the second race here for the Bravo tier. And that was quite close. I thought he was going to have a little look there. And that was Yanni, who wasn't quite able to get that move made. But now we'll head into turn number 2, this chicane, a little bit further away from where the guys were used to off the short track. And now we're going to head onto this long straight. And this is where you're going to see a lot of slipstreaming action. This is where guys will be trying to set themselves up into that hairpin and hopefully get some positions. But again, if you get that wrong, you lock that up. The rear says, cheers, I'm out of here. And you land up heading towards the wall.
Yeah, good start from one of the killers out in front. And then, should I say both killers out in front.
They had a killer start.
In third position, we have the Silverback.
Ooh! Sorry, just looking at Killer. That was Killer 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. He had a little bit of a happy moment there going through the kink. And the only reason for that is if you flick that car through there, the rear does not hold on. You've got to just coerce it through there. Nice, small inputs with the wheel. As there goes Dave, just managing to catch it. And unfortunately losing a position, and that is to Raf, who's now moved himself up into second place.
There you go.
Side by side is James and Yanni. Yanni gets that car sideways. You can just see how much momentum he lost by sliding that car, and James is going to be looking for an opportunity to get him that position back from a Batman.
No, great start there so far. These competitors are very close together, trying to keep the control of their vehicle, which looks like is one mammoth task at the moment. And we see Batman RSA trying to go on the inside
of Reese.
That's Reese.
But now Reese will have the inside now, and it's going to be side by side as they head through the Parabolica. Turn number 5. It is a long way to turn number 6.
Yeah, looks like Batman just got a better exit there, and Reese just tucking in behind and trying to pick up that slipstream. But we do see somebody there on the inside trying to...
Whoa!
There's a little bit of a late break, and that was most unfortunate, and that's actually ruined. Who was that in there? I think it was...
Rafiki.
Yeah.
Rafiki came in a little bit too hot there.
As much as I hate to say it, I'm pretty sure that's going to be referred to the stewards, because that was way too late on the brakes there, and James really doing a lot of damage there.
I think before you even go to bed, you're going to see a yellow go through Dylan. Incident report. Yeah.
So James going on to the inside of Reese, but Reese just closing that door. But up on that curb, that's a very dangerous place to be. As Reese now trying to hold that inside line, with James now trying to go around the outside. And he manages to hang it out there. Very surprised that that car held its line there. Normally that rear just has a little bit of a kick. It might be something to look at for the Alpha tier.
So you found something different there. Well, it's always good to watch these races and learn, from the guys, the creative lines, and finding a bit of speed here and there, as we now focused our attention on Reese, who's trying to fight his way back through the field after a little bit of a bump from one of his fellow drivers. Out in front, Ralph is a ref. Raf still in first position and seems to have opened up a nice little lead of 2 seconds over Sly Pete, who is now in second position after getting past one of the killers. The killers dropping back quite a bit after that very severe incident on the second lap.
Yeah, I did see that. I think that was Killer Dave that went into the pits, so he was in 12th place. And little kick of the rear there as he got into the power. And it looks like James's is that 4 wide? That can't work out at all going through here. But Yanni in 3rd place is James. Kicks off the curb and bounces off one of the drivers. I think that was off Reese. So
Yeah.
that was, I'd say, fortunate.
Yeah, I guess rubbing is racing, if you want to put it that way.
I think he was very lucky there.
He was very lucky to have a driver that caught him. Otherwise, that car was going to be spinning back to front, no problem. So, best lap delta there by Batman RSA. And the camera now on Rebellion 23, who's chasing down one of the killers.
That's the other way. Oh, yeah. He was going to have a little look on the inside. Decided to not have the go there, turn number 2. But now you've got to get right up on the inside. A nice tight line. You can see how that car just kicks off. That rear is just so unforgiving.
No, absolutely. Who will break the latest into this hairpin?
Will you see him
he will not break it
coming? Oof, no. So Tyron decided to rather just get the brakes done and dusted and rather pick up another place to go and have the attack.
So a good battle all round from these drivers this evening. A bit of a challenge. You can see the cars a bit of a handful, but some of the drivers are getting to grips with it and putting in some impressive times. Out in front we have Raf. In second position we have Sly Pete, and then the other Rolf in third position.
That Raf is James.
Sorry, so that's James down in third. Then in fourth position we have Batman and Reese down in fifth position at the moment. 3 drivers with a penalty at the moment. I'm not too sure what those penalties are, but there's a 2-second penalty for Sly Pete, so he's got his work cut out if he wants to challenge for that first position. And currently he's 1.5 seconds behind the race leader. Reese in fifth position with a 1-second penalty, and then we see Reese now on the back of Batman.
Yeah.
So it appears that Batman has managed to get past and is putting up a fight coming through the field.
I haven't seen any of the other cars, but we have, I think this is Killer. So, Killer.
I see there's 2 guys in the pits at the moment.
Yeah, so we got Saint Jim and Memo in the pits, and I know that Killer Dave in 12th place, he's pitted, and so has Colin. So there have been 4 drivers that are pitted and are further down the order. As Dave now comes out of the pits, and he's going to be chased down by Memo. So Dave just being able to hang on there with 18 minutes left to go.
I think there was Saint Jim that came out the pits there, Dylan.
Yeah.
Killer D's really had his pit stop, and remember he was involved in that massive incident where he actually flipped the car, so I'm sure he would have picked up major damage there, and as a result has put him way back
Moving into 11th, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got his work cut out for him, but hopefully with a clear track ahead, and if he just puts his head down, he might be able to at least get up the field. We see a couple of guys disconnecting, so that's not always a great sign.
So I see it was Duncan and Killer 123434, and his name is Ian Parsons. There we go. I remembered.
Silverback has got a 10-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane.
That's exactly what that is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So Raf is going to have to get that head down. He's going to have to really try and find an additional, I'd say, like 4 seconds or 6 seconds to try and just recover that time that he's now lost with that time penalty, because he was a couple of seconds out in front, which has now effectively just handed the current provisional first place to Sly Pete.
Yeah, no, it has. A little bit of a bummer way to lose your first place, but yes, I guess the guys still need to learn about their pit limits.
Yeah, it's still early days. We've got 17 minutes left on the clock. We still have the leader that needs to pit, as well as James in second, Reese in third, and RSA Batman. So the majority of the
Sure.
pack still need to pit.
Yo, that's Batman.
Definitely pulling a Batman move, flying over the curves.
Sure.
He's got a little bit sideways, which has allowed Tyron to move up. I saw that he was able to get up onto the inside while Yanni was coming back. Oh,
Wow.
that was close.
That is playing with limits.
What's the tire wear set on here, Dylan? Are we?
So surprisingly, there are slicks that are on here, and the tire wear does start taking a bit of pressure. That front left starts feeling the heat a bit, and it does start wearing. So after the 30 minutes, you'd probably just be above halfway over the tire wear, which means that as you start, no, Tyron! Oh.
Throwing it away. Jeez. Oh.
So he is so lucky that the Pete and Dane decided to go into the pits.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pete and Yanni decided to go into the pits. Otherwise, they would have been following him through there. So now he's going to have to put his head down and hopefully just recover some time there for the pits, which now puts James out in front as our now provisional first place, and Reese in a second position.
Let's go back to the times. I thought I saw a 20-second penalty there. Oh, sorry.
No,
10-second
yeah.
penalty there for Silverback for speeding in the pits. That's most unfortunate. But I mean, if he's behind Sly Pete, it's actually only 8 seconds. So it's still. I mean,
Still a little bit of a hassle. Yeah. Because it just takes one mistake like that.
Well, there you see James now making a mistake, and I think the tyre wear is starting to show now. Maybe the track conditions changing, because I think you've also got.
It's slightly later on, it's slightly warmer. So what happens is your tire wear definitely is increased now. No!
Oh.
Yeah, so these guys are obviously not getting the traction of what they had before, and the confidence just starts, falling away, and that's when they start making mistakes. So we see James now in the pits now. And we see Dane now coming around the corner. I'm not too sure if he's pitted yet, but he should be moving into first position now. And you see he does take the lead of the race. And Sly Pete now in second position, followed by
Raf. So that's actually pretty close, because that's one second between Raf and Pete. But now Raf is going to have this 10-second penalty that he's going to need to work with. So hopefully he's able to get a bit of a gap between himself and Reese, to possibly hold on to a podium.
Absolutely. It must have been a good pit stop by Sly Pete to get ahead of Raf. So you wonder something definitely went wrong with Raf's pit stop.
Could see that car, that suspension working. Raf taking as much of that inside curb as possible, just bouncing that rear up.
I still haven't seen any 148s here or anywhere close to 140, 149s, as you mentioned earlier, your time. So that's a pretty good time. Did you see any other times, or Dylan? Or is that more or less what you think that tonight's pace will be?
No, look, there are some really fast drivers this season. I know that Lendl, he's been on fire. Brandon DeSantos, he's also been quick, as well as Brandon Hills, and not forgetting Morris and Jakes. If they're normally a second quicker than me, so if I was able to just get into the 48s, I'm pretty sure that there actually might be a 47 lurking there somewhere.
Wow.
So we've got just under 12 minutes left here of the Brava tier. The Alpha tier will be starting as soon as this race is done. Ashley, you'll be able to do the commentary, the driver interviews, right, while we get the second lobby underway?
Yeah, I'm sure I can.
And then we'll just get Memo in, and at least we can get a good earlier start for the Alpha tier. Just having a look to see if there are other battles that are currently happening, but this is where it is, in a car in the background. Little flick of the rear, just...
I think that was Rebellion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Tyron down in a 9th place. So just having a look at some of the comments that are coming through. Peter Brunt has joined us saying a go Sly. We've got Gerard Vosloo who's joined us saying a SARCO. Brandon DeSantos, he's saying Pete and Ruff were close. Yes, they definitely were there. And that 10-second penalty is definitely going to impact on Raphael. Toki Afunda Fenter saying, come on, Rafa, my man. And saying, oh my word, is that Ashley here? Yes, Tox, that is Ashley.
How's it, Tox?
So 10 minutes left to go. And currently the closest battle is between Dave and St. Jim in front. So St. Jim doing a lot better this week. He was one of the bringing up the rear, the tail enders, I could say. And now here he is battling a midfield. So a really good effort there for him. So Sly Pete now starting to just open that gap between himself and Raphael. You can see 2.6 seconds is that gap. Dane still hanging out there in a first place, but I'm pretty sure that he would still need to come and have a pit.
Yeah, it actually looked like Sly Pete did a bit of a mistake there, because he was down to just under a second behind the leader. So I think he just came in a little bit too hot into the turn 2. So yeah, he lost a bit of time through there.
Yeah, I'm still not sure that I saw Dane pit, so I don't know if any of you guys can confirm that he has.
Not 100% sure. I don't know. I cannot comment on that.
But yeah, I think this battle between, I was hoping that we'll see.
Yes, that if you saw in the background there, Rap, it looked like he was basically rail sliding on that curb there.
There was very impressive cornering there. But sliding is slow, so it's not going to help his mission here this evening. As we see now, Sly Pete much closer to Dane and giving him the hurry up. I'll put in the lights on and say, hey buddy, I'm right behind you. The pressure's now on. And that's how you try force somebody into mistakes. So they start noticing that you're right behind them, and then they'll keep looking at their mirrors while they keep the eyes on the road.
Exactly.
Classic.
Exactly.
Classic error that most guys make.
And all you do now is you just set yourself up right behind him, and just before you go into the braking zone, you move out to the outside, so he's going to see that something's happening, and then you just move back in for the braking zone.
Absolutely.
It's just a little show and tell. Oh, lock up there for Dane.
There you go. So a mistake already, and Dane locking it up, and is slightly taking a bit of evasive action, but maybe overly cautious, and having a look now on the inside again of Dane as they come through. Dane losing a bit of the rear end there, and losing a bit of traction out there. It looks like Sly Pete is much closer now. He's on the inside. Will he try and make a run for the next right-hander? He does. He goes in, and will he be able to make it stick?
Wow.
What a move. That's
a fantastic move.
Great move there for Pete. And I think it was also just acknowledged Dane there for just knowing that he was on the inside. Gave him the space that was required, didn't cut him off, and these guys were able now to just carry on with their race.
Absolutely. Between racing all around.
Still got 6.5 minutes of racing, so still a lot of action still to come.
And with that little bit of a battle, we see now Raf catching the leaders, but Raf still has that 10-second penalty, most likely for speeding in the pits. So if I look at the times there, that will still put him down. I think he was into 4th position, with Reese down in 4th at the moment. But I think Reese also has a bit of a time penalty, so yeah, it's going to be touch and go towards the end. So Reese
there we go. So that's it. So Raf has been able to hang on. If he's just got to bring it home now, he can hang on to that 3rd place with a 12 and a 17-second penalty. So that is speeding in the pits right there. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So Sly Pete also needs to just be cautious because he has a 4-second lead at the moment, and if Dane hasn't gone in the pits yet, he still has the opportunity to win this race with 5 minutes left on the clock. I mean, if you can just keep within touching distance of Sly Pete out in front, you could possibly win this race.
You can see Dane now starting to drop down. Raf has now gone ahead of him, so Dane now in 3rd place. But what is going to be very interesting is how that 17 and 12 second come into play, because that means that Yanni, he can go from 6th and basically jump straight up into 4th place.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just how it goes sometimes.
So there's that confirmation. Dane now going into the pits. He's just got to get a little stop and goes. Reese makes a little mistake running too wide, which now allows James to move up. So James now goes ahead of Reese. So James now in 3rd place, and Reese now in 4th position. But where will Dane now come out of the battles here?
It's 6th place.
6th at the moment. And we have Killer, one of the killers down in 7th, who's coming over, crossing in the line now. So he will be ahead of Killer D as he comes out the pits now, and there's quite a fair advantage. Also, he doesn't have a penalty, so he's most likely to keep that position.
So there's St. Jim in 9th place ahead of Colin, and Memo down in 11th position. And Memo, unfortunately, that car looking a little worse for wear this evening. I was just waiting for Dane's time just to kick up. So that's 27 seconds. And that is 11, so that's 16 seconds behind Reese. So if Dane can find himself another 2 seconds on Raf there, he might be able to still get himself a 4th place. So Pete, our race leader, 2 minutes 40 to go.
I think it's been quite a while that we've actually seen Pete actually start winning races again, because he hasn't done that in a while.
You must have had time to practice. It always helps, practicing.
Look, it is very, very difficult to get yourself a win. And even though we are here in the Bravo tier, you can see that the lap times that the guys have been putting together, it is still extremely competitive. So definitely, I'm sure Pete will be very happy with a win here. He's just got to bring it home. He does have Raf 2.6 seconds behind him.
Oh,
who's
a
got
bit of a mistake.
And Batman.
So that was Yanni that Yanni made the mistake. So that's James and Reese now through the kinks, too wide. One of them is going to have to let go into the braking zone. A little nudge there for James. Reese able to hang on. Oh, kick of the curb there for James. So that has not helped his exit speed there. And I'm sure Yanni is going to be looking at these two having a go at each other and wanting to get right up there on the curb. That is not safe. As Yanni off the curb there as well. That curb is extremely dangerous.
Oh, a little bit too hot into that corner.
So this is going to be the last lap. Pete on a lap number 16. Absolutely awesome just to see how that car just gets flicked through there into the braking zone. Now turn number 2, you can see Reese getting a nice tight line through there, getting that power on nice and early. That's going to help him try to get away from James, but James is going to have that slipstream advantage, and all Reese needs to do is just hold that line, then just start drifting over to the right hand side to start defending the inside part of the track, because I'm pretty sure James is going to have a go into turn number 6 at the hairpin here. Reese has to let him go, but now trying to get on the power, and Yanni out braking himself a little bit there, having to go the long way round.
Well, it almost looks like a replay of the previous lap.
Yeah.
True story. So Reese now unfortunately down in 4th place, a little bit too deep there and not being able to get that. There's Yanni in the background just bouncing off that curb. So in through a Sachs they go. Just jump to slide Pete there, please, because Pete is now across the line. There is your race winner. Raf in 2nd place, followed by James in 3rd. We'll just have to see how these time penalties all play out. Reese, I can say a very, very hard fought 4th place there for him. Yanni in 5th place, but where will both Dane and Yanni finish? once the time penalties are served. We'll just see when Yanni crosses the line. So there's confirmation. Yanni up into third place. Absolutely incredible. And Dane, unfortunately, he will still stay down in 6th, with Dave in 7th place, St. Jim in 8th. Tyron will finish in 9th place, with Colin in 10th and Memo in 11th position.
Yeah, great battle there between the guys this evening, and a good win there for Sly Pete. And Raf, down in 2nd position, managed to holding on to a podium even after his 10-second penalty.
Yeah. Some great racing by the guys tonight. Yeah. Some nice little battles in the beginning and in the middle of the race.
And it looked like James towards the end of the race was, picking up quite a bit of speed there. So it's unfortunate that he had that penalty, because I think he was also on for a podium.
Yeah, no, I think he was.
So the best lap there goes to Sly Pete with a 149.8. So Sly Pete there coming in 1st position, followed by Raf Silverback in 2nd position, Batman RSA in 3rd, Reese down in 4th, then it's James down in 5th, Dane down in 6th position, Killer D Dave in 7th, St. Jim in 8th, Rebellion 23 in 9th, and then Colin down in 10th. And I think we do have a couple of drivers in 11th and 12th, but there may have been disconnects there.
Yeah.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Wow, nice luck. Very well done.
So I think while we wait for the other two drivers to come into the lobby, I see Sly Pete has already joined us. Sly Pete, a fantastic win there in the 2nd heat, and a good race in the 1st heat. Took us through your 2 races.
Yeah. Difficult track, man. I'm sweating in this chair. Yeah, I don't know. Silverback was ahead of me, pitted a lap before me. Yes, I don't know. I even forgot to set my pit strategy. Got out of the pits and I was right in front of him. So I got very lucky with the pit there. I think I gained about 2 seconds. And yeah, just kept it clean, kept it on the road. Finished it.
Well done. Well done there for the win. And how did you feel in the car? Was it an easy car to drive, or did you also experience some handling difficulties?
Absolutely not. The tires kept nicely throughout the race, but definitely when you're getting off the throttle on this thing and you're turning this car, it doesn't like that at all. So definitely you got to stay on that gas a little bit in your corners. Make sure you brake enough before. Yeah. Off the throttle is not good.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. It was great watching you fight in the Bravateer, and hopefully we'll see you again next week.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So there was Sly Pete just sharing the moments for race 1 and 2. And we seem to have a bit of a stream It looks like the stream is down at the moment. Right. Sorry, it's been so long. I forget these things, you know. I don't know what's going on. So, guys, if you just joined us, we got the Alpha tiers coming up next. We had a brilliant battle between the guys in the Bravo tier, and now the big guns are coming out, and we're going to see the likes of Marius and Jakes, Lendl, and a few other guys taking each other on. I think it's going to be an epically close race all round. And don't forget, our number one host, Dylan, will be taking part and showing us how it's done. So please stay tuned, and we will be starting the next race shortly. Then I think we should have some nice romantic background music. Oh, is there? Okay, so just to lighten the mood. Excellent. So is Stephen not joining us? Has he retired for the evening? Oh yes, of course. Okay, brilliant. Well, good luck, Dylan, and I will be shouting for you.
Thank you kindly.
So as we wait for those Alpha tiers guys to get ready, I just want to mention that if you guys do want to take part, check out our website, go and register. There are a few places available for our Thursday night league, which is the Seto Corsa. It would be really great if you guys could come and join us and see how fast you are against some of our top drivers.
Can you hear me?
Hello, Memo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Okay, sorry, just getting out of the other lobby.
So, Memo, how was your race in a nutshell? Your two races.
I came second last and last. How does that sound? What do you think happened?
Well, from your point of view, what was it that you were struggling with that put you in those positions?
Well, first of all, I didn't realize that even though I changed the track, I didn't realize the change had track. The track had changed, and I just went straight. So yeah, that happened. Instead of turning the second turn, so yeah, that pretty much sucked. What can you do?
Yeah. So it does help to practice before the race. Did you do much practicing?
Yeah, about 5 minutes. I thought it was enough. I thought I was prepared.
Okay. Well, I mean.
Okay, no.
No, apparently not. Yeah, this is one of the things in the game. If you want to be competitive, you have to put the time in, and sometimes that's not always the case. If you running, having a hectic lifestyle with in terms of work, with family. So some of these guys here really have to put in the effort and find the time to practice. And yeah, I must say that
I agree totally with you. I agree absolutely with you, but some of these guys are naturally talented. I mean, come on. Nobody drives that fast. It's not possible. I've watched all the videos on YouTube. It's not helping.
It's not helping.
No.
Well, you mustn't watch the porn videos. That doesn't help.
Whoa, that was close.
What was that?
I didn't mean to start that, guys. Sorry.
I'm not sure what that was, but I don't want to actually find out what happened in his house right now.
It would appear that he accidentally started the voter start on the game, and it started counting down before all the drivers were ready. So he has managed to cancel that, and just waiting for the guys to give the thumbs up, and we'll be racing shortly.
Yeah, it seems they're having a couple of connection problems there, but okay, hopefully they can get that sorted out.
Yeah, but what's new? This is a common problem with Project Cars right from the beginning, and it still really hasn't been sorted out, and I don't think it ever will be. As you know, Project Cars has now moved to from Project Cars 2 to 3. I don't think the creators of the game are really worried about the guys who still are hardcore supporters of Project Car 2.
I don't think they're hardcore supporters. I think they just have nothing else to drive. Basically, that's what's left. Basically,
yes, on this platform, yes.
Yeah.
But there are some exciting games in the pipeline, which hopefully we'll see soon, and hopefully they'll have similar features to what Project Cars has.
If they had continued with Project Cars, it would have been incredible. But they sort of just left it like about 3 years ago. They stopped anything, any support whatsoever is all stopped.
Yeah, I think they're focused on the sort of the newer version, which is more like Need for Speed and arcade mode than some simulation. Yeah. Also doesn't.
I bet you that's not going very well. Somebody must have lost their job.
Well, you never know. There could be a fall, and it could be better than this. And who knows?
Let's just all move to Assetto Corsa Competizione. That's much better. I mean, the physics and everything is much better with that game.
I do agree with you there, but the only thing with that is from a streaming point of view and commentating point of view, it just doesn't have the same features as Project Cars does, and you just don't get. You're not able to bring the same excitement through the stream. And with this platform, of course, I mean, if you go on the PC platform, it's a different story. But on the PlayStation, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I've realized that. We've lost a lot of really good drivers to the PC format.
Yeah.
A lot of good drivers. I said that already, Dylan. Anyway, so like we were just informed that there's some clashing issues with some of the drivers. There is no support for this game anymore, so it's just sort of whoever's managing to join is going to manage to join and play. Or otherwise, that's it. It's getting
from a technical point of view, we've tried multiple ways to overcome this by making a few suggestions with the players' routers and internet connectivity, but still we seem to have this issue, and it doesn't seem like it's going to go away.
We're stuck with it.
We're stuck with it. But it's still an awesome game. Can't complain. When it does work, when it does go well, it works really well. And I guess if you do get disconnected, it will be similar to a real-world scenario where maybe something happens to your car. You win some, you lose some.
That's right. Or like the great Kimi Raikkonen said once upon a time, you know, I was taking a dump. Very cleanly, thank you. Yeah.
So guys, looks like the thumbs have been all shown and we are ready to go, and the guys will start making their way into the race.
So how's my sound in this?
You're breaking up a little bit. Don't they have proper internet?
Sound happening on your side. So I don't know, maybe I'm not the best choice for this and directing on this.
What are you using your PlayStation to connect to the Wi-Fi?
No, it's on the cable. It's on a proper cable. It's on Wi-Fi now, but
What are
nobody
you
else is
using
using it.
for Discord?
Discord, I'm using my cell phone.
What's it on, the LTE network or the Wi-Fi?
That's more.
This is really bad.
You can try on the LTE network as well. Hold on, let me try. How does that sound? Not much better, I'm guessing.
It's much better.
Really?
Right, guys,
Okay.
we are synchronizing, and it looks like we are just about to get going. And there we have it. Race 1 is on. And looks like Lendl got a good start there. He's out in front. Oh, Steven goes on the inside and a good overtake there. But will he be able to make it stick side by side as they go down to the second corner? And Steven managed to put his nose ahead and has forced Lendl out wide. And that looks like now Brandon forced his way. He's getting close to Lendl. He's sitting on the inside. A great start there by Steven. And it appears now that Lendl has... Ooh, we have a guy spinning there in the background. So also getting caught out by that very, very sharp sort of hairpin. And we have Dylan. I think he was one of the victims who got caught out by the guys there. But out in front at the moment, we have Steven, then Lendl, then... I'm not too sure who's that. Is that Peter Brunt down in third position, followed by Tyler. We have Rudy down in fifth position. And then it's Rockstar Mel, I think, in sixth position, followed by Jakes down in seventh. Robert down in eighth. Quicksilver, that's Durkee down in ninth position. And Terry in 10th, followed by, I think it's Louis down in 11th. And Brandon has dropped right down to 12th, followed by Dylan. As we've seen guys getting a little bit squiggly there on the exit.
And traditionally, the green cars are Mamba Fever, so yeah, it's a thing.
That is a thing, apparently.
It's a thing in last place, that's what it is.
But I'm just looking, it looks like we have a change for the lead out in front, so with Lendl now in first position. And looks like Steven is dropping back. So something's happened to Steven. There we see in the background. He looks like he's made a mistake or collided with somebody and has now dropped right down to 10th position. So that most unfortunately, he got a brilliant start there now. Right down in 10th again. Lendl out in front. And he's starting to pull a gap now on Peter Brunt, who's now in second position. There we see the Peter Brunt in the red and black colors there. And that gap now increasing to 2 seconds. In third position, we have Rudy. And
there's been some crazy changes of position here. I mean, I can see Quicksilver right at the back.
Yeah,
there must have been some sort of accident. And you can see Tyler's car is absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, looks like it's had a few panel beatings there. but still managed to keep it on the track, so no mechanical damage, it would appear. Terry now
These cars
moving
are
up into
very resilient, actually.
There we go. Terry losing the rear end. Oh, and he gets swamped by, I think that was Tyler. Tyler had nowhere to go and unfortunately went into the back of Terry. And as
I
you
think he was
say,
trying to straighten his wheel alignment there by actually crashing into him.
that appears to be the case. We see now Dylan moving up into ninth position, and he looks like he's now right behind Steven, the other green mamba. So many green mambas. I mean, maybe they should all get a room
That's probably an idea.
and wave their green mambas around.
Yeah, I don't want to imagine that, but thank you very much. And I don't know why they would be green either.
Do you agree, mamba sword fight?
Yeah, that's a sword fight on track right now. Anyway, let's go back to the front after that interjection of humor.
So there we go. Jake's now getting a little bit screwy out there in the corner, but he's right on the rear end there of Robert. Jake's is doing really well to come up the field. He was down in 7th not so long ago, right up for some making some ground, and looks like he's applying the pressure to Robert, and just trying to find a way past there as they go through this very tight section up to the last corner and then down the main straight. As he tries to tuck behind Robert there just to pick up the slipstream.
And I can tell you something, you don't want Jakes behind you. You know, the few times I've been able to be in front of Jakes and then he comes up behind me, it's just nerve-wracking. It's one of the scariest things you can have.
No, absolutely. I've been in that situation times myself. It's not fun. He is one of the quickest guys out of the track there, and he can make your life pretty difficult when he's behind you. You can see he's applying the pressure. Oh, there he forces Rudy into mistake and takes advantage of that situation. But jeez, look at that car sliding all over the show. And we'll see now Jake's moving up to 4th position. Sorry, that was Robert that he got past.
Yeah, and I have to say something about these cars. You know, the rear tires, are mostly cold actually. And especially the rear right tire is constantly cold. It doesn't warm up at all. It was my tire was blue the whole time.
Right. So you need to do what these guys are doing and throw it into the corner sideways to those tires. I think that's probably the best. Seems like the best solution out there at the moment.
Can you see any other battles right now? I think it's just that's just Jake's at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like Lendl has pulled now a 3.5 second gap over Peter Brunt. Still Rudy in 3rd position, but he's been chased down hard by Jakes. Robert, who has just been overtaken by Jakes, he's down in 5th position. Maybe look at Rockstar Mel. I think that is Rockstar Mel. He's coming up the field, and Dylan has also managed to get past Steven, and Dylan is now sitting in 8th position, chasing down Brandon in 7th position at the moment.
I would be afraid by Quicksilver as well. Durkee's like flying on the track because he was last at some stage.
No, absolutely. Durkee's definitely no slouch when it comes to racing. One of the top drivers out there, and it showed in the last season exceptionally well, and I think he was also one of the runners most of the season. As we see Rockstar Mel now coming to, gets it all sideways, and there goes curb. Oh, still trying to get control of the car, and goes wide there, and that allowed for Brandon to get past. Brandon Santos on the outside, and has managed to make that pass stick after Rockstar Mel just made a little bit of error on the exit of the first corner, and got out of shape there. Ooh, there we see the guys going sliders. What a shot. I mean, fantastic driving from both those drivers. Just sliding the car around the corner there. And we see a bit of a lock up there from from Brandon, but has now managed to open up that gap. So
We're just
Brandon
going to
now,
the leaders again. I can see Rudy's applying a lot of pressure onto Peter Brand, I think is his name.
Peter Brunt, that's correct.
So let's
Peter
just see what
Brunt
happens up
in
front.
second position there, and yes, definitely, that looks like Rudy making that AMG dance all over the track and catching. Now, Rudy has been seems to be a little bit more conservative and just managing those tires, staying out of trouble. But the guys are now starting to catch Jake's in the background there as well. That's probably why Rudy is just put in the hurry up, because he sees Jake's coming and he realizes that he's running out of time. It's the 6.5 minutes left on the clock. So we are already halfway through this race. And that only gives the guys probably about 5 laps before Jake's will be. If you could just see what the penalties are, please, Memo, then I can. If you could just go check the timings. So there you are, Lendl with a 4-second penalty, Peter Brunt with a 3-second penalty, Rudy with a 2-second, and Jakes with a 1-second. So you know what? Jakes is actually quite possible on for a higher podium tier, because I mean, if he gets, very close to Rudy, if he can get within 4 seconds of Lendl, that's it. And then he has the win. So
I believe he can do it, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets into third place and then sort of just wins this race.
Yeah, he's basically only 2 seconds behind Lendl at the moment, and he's closing on these guys quickly. And then I'm sure Rudy will see. Okay, that's, like I say, that's why he's had the hurry up to try and get past old Peter Brandt. And it looks like Peter also now applying the pressure. He sees the two guys coming in the background, and he knows he needs to find some speed.
Yeah, it's not easy to keep your calm, though. It's really difficult to do that.
That's the
And there you go. There's the mistake that he made.
There we
And
go.
Rudy is through.
Absolutely. So Rudy
Pushes the pressure onto Peter Brand.
and then Jakes follows Rudy and looks like he's managed to get past. Oh, he's out on the outside. Wolf gets forced a little bit
to
onto
watch
the
out for that
there.
grass. That grass is dangerous.
And still, both drivers. Ooh, let's see now. That was a very good move from Peter Brandt there. Man, defend his line there. Looked like they lost their position to Jakes, but just managed to defend that line well enough to keep him behind. But still, game on.
Yeah, technically, Jakes is in like second position right now.
He is. But as this battle's going on, they're losing time to the leader, who opened up a gap of 6 seconds to second, third, and fourth. But nevertheless, a fantastic battle here. Let's just see if Jake's going to try to find a way past now as he gets onto the curb and sticks his nose on the inside, and he manages just to get past. It looks like he's done it. He passed old Peter Brandt. So within a matter of 2 laps, Peter Brandt has gone down from second position all the way to fourth now.
This is phenomenal driving from Jakes as usual. I mean, I don't think anybody knows how he does it.
He got onto 2 wheels there. That was unbelievable.
And he has some damage in the front as well, eh?
It would appear that he does have a little bit. I don't know. He did have a slow start, so yeah, I mean, it's quite possible that he did have an incident with somebody. But Peter Brandt not letting go just yet. He's watching how these guys are doing out in front, maybe learning a thing or two, and able to keep the momentum going. But Rudy actually doing a fantastic job at the moment, keeping these guys behind him. As we see Jakes do the same move that he did on Peter Brandt, and it looks like he's forced Rudy wide, and has managed to make it stick. It looks like he's going to get past.
There's such a scary straight over here, you know, it like sort of turns. If you touch the grass, you're out of it. You're totally gone. And I'm pretty sure he has a handbrake movement there as well.
So good momentum here by Jakes, and that gap now 7 seconds to the leader with 1.5 minutes left. Can Jakes decrease that lead? But Jakes has picked up a 4-second penalty now as well, so that kind of cancels that out. So that is what it is at the moment. It is a 7-second gap between the leader and Jakes. And those guys will still be. If you just go back to what did Rudy? I'm not too sure what Rudy's. Okay, so he's at 2 seconds. So Rudy still has potential to get that second position if he can hold on to Jakes. I mean, he basically needs to finish within 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds behind Jakes to get that second position. Peter Brandt with that 3-second penalty, so he will most likely finish in 4th position.
I'd just like to bring everybody's attention to the lap times over here. Their best laps are like in the 106s.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's pretty much
anyway
2 seconds off what we saw in the Bravo. 2 seconds quicker. Definitely some natural talent shown here. And looks like Rudy had an awful last lap. Already lost 2 seconds to Jakes. Let's just see, maybe
is that it?
We've got 15 seconds left, so there will be one lap. And,
one more lap. Let's just pop over to the leader so he doesn't feel left out and see what he's up to. And he's all by himself, just going along there.
Mendel having a nice and quiet race after getting a good. I think he was on pole position, quite honestly. He did lose a position to Steven, but then managed to fight his way back and regain that first position. So he's coming through the last little section. Durkee has done really well. He was right to the back of the down in 7th, and Chalene. Oh, look, what a move on the inside. A bit of a dive.
It was a bit of a dive.
I don't think Dylan was going to be too happy about that, but at least they have both managed to drive away into the sunset with no hard feelings. And then we see Lendl crosses the line. Well done to Lendl on your win. And Jakes manages to hold on to that second position, with Peter Brandt actually moving up into 3rd after that penalty from... that's quite interesting, actually. I was quite convinced that Peter Brandt would finish in 4th, but it looks like he's been promoted. So it's quite possible that Rudy picked up another penalty and was demoted to 4th position.
Yeah, they were really pushing it on that last lap, so that's exactly what happened. Yep, 5-second penalty for Rudy, which pushed him just behind Peter Brandt. Or Brandt. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that name correctly.
It's Brandt. Let's roll your R's.
And I think the cleanest driver on the track was actually Stoltz 44, so he should get like a medal or something.
Yeah, well done, Robert.
It was really difficult.
And his times weren't so bad either. I mean, best lap there 1:07, so it's going to be interesting to see these guys in this race. So there you have it. Lendl finishing up on the top there, and followed by Jakes in 2nd, Peter Brandt in 3rd position, Rudy in 4th, Robert in 5th position, Dylan, who will be starting their next race on pole, Quicksilver in 7th, Tyler Scott in 8th, then we have Steven, who had a bit of an unfortunate spin, who was leading the race at one point down in 9th, and Louis down in 10th, and if you can just scroll down, I think we have 2 more drivers down in 11th and 12th.
Yes, that's Terry, Brandon, and then Rockstar Mel as well in 13th. Whereas Brandon and Rockstar Mel, they retired actually, with probably a lot of damage.
Too much damage to continue. So well done to the Alpha Tier drivers there. A fantastic close race and exciting commentate. And definitely looking forward to the next race. Actually, I think the shorter circuits are a lot more exciting than the GP circuits.
That back straight is just really, it's terrifying. Every time I got into that back, I was just afraid I was going to lose the car, and actually lost the car a couple of times as well. So, yeah. No skills on this side. I'll be a director, that's fine.
Well, maybe if you practice for longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
The most important thing is that you participated and you enjoyed yourself, right?
Yes, that's what they say to all the other losers. So it's fine. It's okay. Thank you very much. I had some good racing though, but it was okay. I'm not interested in the position, to tell you the truth.
Well, that's the main thing. It's just like I said, it's about
That's also
racing in the car. Being you know what I mean.
That's what talentless people say. Yes, that's our excuse for life. Thank you very much.
Well, guys,
so we're just waiting.
Sorry, go ahead.
We're just waiting for everyone to thumbs up so we can carry on with this next half hour of incredible racing.
Yeah, no, just hope that guys remember to change the formats. Race will be held at the Hockenheim GP circuit. It will also be a 30-minute race. And from my experience, well, let's see, not the most exciting race, the longer race, but anything. You got the reverse things a lot more exciting. So yeah, let's just hope everybody is able to get it through the first couple of corners and we have a good, clean race. So guys, if you do want to join us and be a part of this great racing challenge, check out our website, SARCO.co.za. Go and register. Tell your mates, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell the whole family. Everybody can get involved. It's just you'll see we do have qualifying, so you get put into the class of your capabilities. So it's not like you get thrown in with the likes of Dylan and Jakes and Robert and Lendl. You have to earn that by competing and qualifying, and if you're quick enough, you could possibly do that.
But I totally suggest starting from one of the lower tiers, because these guys are just, it's not worth the anxiety attacks.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So once again, just waiting for the thumbs up. And where can anybody that wants to join this community find this community, actually?
Well, funny enough, I managed to find it on Facebook. I think where it started for me is that when I wanted to get involved in motor racing and all that sort of stuff, I just checked around on Facebook, and I came across SARCO, came across the videos, and then I found that a couple of my friends actually were already a part of it. So I was like, hey, what's this all about? And they got in contact with Dylan, invited me over. But if you want to find out all the details, you can check out either Facebook's page, or you can also check out our website, racing.co.za.
I think that's the best way to do it, actually.
Yeah.
And don't get confused with the other SARCO that's out there, which is like a death machine for people that want to, do themselves off. We're talking about SARCO racing community. Thank you very much. Where we enjoy living.
Thank you for clearing that up, Memo. I think
it had to be done. I'm so sorry about that. So just to explain to everybody that is watching this, what's going to happen now is we're going to do a formation lap, where the first one we're going to find their positions, and the first 6 guys from the previous race are going to reverse grid themselves, which means 6 will be first, and etc., etc., and then the rest will just start the race in the position that they were in.
Yes.
After one lap, they're going to cross the line, and then we'll have racing. So now what you'll be seeing is just everybody getting into their positions and waving to each other and congratulating each other and things like that. And maybe some middle fingers to each other as well, depending on what happened in the previous race.
No, absolutely. Because at SARCO we like to be friendly and clean.
Yeah, but we are human beings, and sometimes there are fingers, but we don't condone that. There is an etiquette that if you want to join SARCO, you have to agree to, and then you have to try and stay online with that.
It's called Code Coconuts.
Yeah, Code Coconuts is just be nice, basically, and
Be
sweeten.
nice. Instead of swearing, say coconut.
Yeah, exactly.
You mother coconut. For example.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. No, you're using it wrong. I'll send you the guidelines for using the word coconut.
All right, it has been a while, so
Let's just see what's happening up front. Dylan taking his position in the front. Who was in 5th place? I can't remember. It was Rudy? No, Rudy was in
it's like a
3rd.
pretty quick lap for a warm-up lap.
And
warming up.
believe me, trust me that the wheels do not warm up at all. Oh, this is the longer lap. Okay, yeah, that's.
Yeah, so this is the main circuit now, the complete
Perfect.
circuit, the GP circuit.
Yeah, those wheels are going to be ice cold when they get to the.
And I think that's also why Dylan is trying to, put the hurry up on the guys so that they keep the tires as warm as possible. You'll probably find that he's just trying to spread the field a bit so the guys can the brake temperatures and tires all up to standard, racing standard. Ooh, a bit of a lock up there. That's not going to help. And then you'll see right at the end through the tight section, back it up and get the guys ready to go.
It looks like they're all in their positions actually. I would have expected Rock Mel to be behind Brandon though. So hopefully he doesn't get a penalty for that, for not being in the right position.
Maybe it was a gentleman's agreement because what happened. Yeah. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't happen because you don't know what the other guy's doing, and you can't remember what's behind you, in front of you, and then we'll see.
We'll see.
Let's not be too harsh on Mel because, yeah, he's one of the good guys.
So there we see now Dylan backing up the field and they're all getting very tight together. And you'll give the 3, 2, 1, and off they go. It looks like they're going. So a nice clean start there by all the drivers so far. Ooh,
I'm just going to drop down.
It was looked like he was sleeping a bit. I'm not too sure that is like Tyler, but he's now on the inside, and I think that's Steven that he's challenging. Let's just hope that goes well. And it looks like they have managed to all get through the first couple of corners. And now Dylan still out in front. He's got Robert right behind him, applying the pressure, and seems to be closing that gap. Picked up a slipstream, goes on the side. Who will outbrake? No, it was Dylan actually going on the inside to defend his line. And looks like he's run slightly wide, and that's allowed for Robert to get past. So, unfortunately, has outbraked himself. And, getting it very sideways there. Managed to catch the car, and Robert now braking and locking up the front wheels. So, it's almost like if you're out in front, you don't quite have a reference of where to brake, and I think that's catching some of the guys out. Also, maybe the tire is a little bit cold, not warming up. So Robert now dropping down back into second, or now into third, as we see. That looks like it's Rudy going a bit wide there.
And he lost quite a few positions off there.
And he did lose. So now Peter Brunt up into second position and fighting with Robert. And this is now allowed for Dylan a bit of a breather gap there. But oof, the guy's getting a little bit squiggy of the first lap. Remember, did you find on the first lap the tires were a little bit cold and you were just battling for grip?
Somebody's really having a good fight there. Look at that.
Oh, this
That was no one giving way. I don't know what happened there. That was I'm not giving way. You're not giving way.
Oh, that looked like Lendl and who's that? Was it Jake's?
No, Jake's is clean through. It was a green car. It was a
The green and yellow car. So I think it
could
was.
have been Well, actually, no, they've gone to pit earlier.
Okay,
Was
so
it
the
Rudy?
guys getting.
Could have been Rudy actually.
Yeah, so it was Rudy actually that tangled, I think, with one of the green Mambas.
Well, there's lots of braking. I don't know what to look at here. Hold on.
Well,
And who was that? Was that Durkee or Lendl?
So
They were getting into that fight there.
Yeah, I'm not even sure anymore. But yeah, out in front at the moment, we have Quicksilver, and ahead of him is Tyler Scott having a good battle with each other. And
A three-way battle. I'm just going to pop to the front because they're still really close to each other here.
yeah, absolutely. Dylan's still in the lead at the moment, and
so Dylan's and Peter's worst nightmare is right behind them.
We've got Jakes who's on the charge, and Lendl right behind Jakes. And Jakes, unusual mistake there, but it looked like Lendl followed him and also made mistake, which slowed both of them down. But as across the line there, we have Dylan followed closely by Peter Brunt, then Jakes, then Lendl. Then we have Roberts in 5th position, Tyler in 6th, Durkee in 7th, and looks like Stephen down in 8th position at the moment. So still very, very close racing. Top, I would say, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars out in front at the moment, all fighting for position. And at the head of that train is Dylan, still holding on to that first position. We're on lap 4 of 18. That's weird. So there may have been a bit of an issue there at the beginning. So I see we got laps rather than time. Is that correct? Oh, there we see Jake.
No, Jake.
Very nasty dive there on the inside and taking out. I'm not too sure who that was.
It looked like Dylan, unfortunately.
It was Dylan.
Dylan, yeah.
So Jake's unfortunately missing his braking points, and looks like he took out the leader there. So that's most unfortunate.
And he has a very damaged car as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's got suspension damage there. So you'll have to pit immediately to try to sort out that car, and that will most likely drop him further down the field. And poor Dylan has now moved from 1st position to 6th. And he will have
a lot of damage as well, yeah.
Yeah.
You see that car sliding all over the place.
Yeah, pretty much. So most unfortunate there for those two. Is Jake's a Mumbo driver?
He used to be, but now I think he's more like Banana Republic or something.
Oh, there we see Tyler getting a bit squiggly out the first corner. Manages to hold on, but loses a place anyway. To is it Durkee?
That's Durkee.
Yeah, moving himself up until 2nd position. So a great race for Durkee so far. A nice clean race, no penalty. And he's now into 2nd position, tracing down Lendl, who's moved himself up to 1st position at the moment with a 2-second. Tyler with a 2-second penalty there. Peter Brunt with a penalty as well as in 5th position. So it's quite possible that if Dylan can, he seems to still have a bit of pace. I mean, he's right behind Robert there. So maybe not too much damage from that incident with Jakes.
He did pit though. Jakes and himself pitted at the same time, so I'm not quite sure how he
because he's right up there with the guys in fifth.
He really seems to be struggling with that car, though. I mean, no, I would have pitted already.
I think he's just going to see maybe bide his time and hope for one of these guys to make a mistake out in front. Seems to still have a bit of pace. Looking at his times, they're 155. Yes, I mean that's pretty slow compared to the guys out in front at the moment. They're doing a 148.
It's just crazy at 148.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Man.
I mean, I guess our best time. No, well, we had our best time in the Bravos was 140, I think, set by Sly Pete. So I mean, that just shows you, that Sly Pete should actually be one of the guys with the Alpha tier.
I'd have to agree with you there, but I had a 151 with a Bravo tier, so 148 is actually pretty good. Because usually I'm about 2 seconds off their pace, but this is just 3 seconds is way too much.
Practice, practice, practice. That's all I can say. Anyways, out in front, still Lendl with a 1.5 second lead over Quicksilver, and Tyler doing exceptionally well as well. Keep honest, these guys are honest up in front. Peter Brunt just dropping back a bit, and he's now got Dylan, who looks like he has moved up a position. So he has managed to get past Robert. So Robert did make a mistake, and he did manage to get past there. So I think Dylan has got a bit of pace here still. Doesn't seem to have that much.
149.
No.
That's crazy.
So yes, so definitely. I mean, if he has some serious damage, definitely in those times right now. So there's definitely some pace in the pocket there.
The fact that after that collision with Jakes is, and where is Jakes? Oh, Jakes is all the way down at the bottom, man. Okay, so the fact that he had a collision with Jakes and is managing to stay 5 seconds or 6 seconds away from the leader is incredible, actually.
So yeah, maybe it just helped him a bit. Maybe there was a part that was actually slowing down. Jakes managed to get rid of that, and yeah, now it's going quick. So now Dylan moves up into 4th position after Peter Brunt dives into the pits for his pit stop. Robert in the pits as well. Terry now moves up into 7th position. Brandon Santos in 8th. Jakes down all the way in 9th, and looking by his times, he's not having a race. I mean, last lap there at 2:08 compared to our leaders doing a 1:49. And as I said,
I'm wondering if Jake's managed to, sort out the pits, because I mean, you have to tell the pit crew what you need done on the car, and if you haven't done that before when you start the race, for any damage to be fixed, it's not going to be fixed.
Absolutely. Well, just look at his time again now, 1:3. So it has improved slightly, but he's still nowhere near the pace of the front runners. So yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. I'm sure he's actually hasn't been able to fix the damage on that vehicle.
We have a 4-way race over here, actually, so that could be interesting. But we also have Dirty really close.
Let me see somebody. You just broke away there. There was somebody taking a dive on the inside, and I don't think that. These two guys coming together there, getting way too close. And I was just wondering if that's who's that in the green?
That's Brandon, from what I can understand.
Brandon Santos there, and Jake's fighting for position. Jake's now up into 6th.
He is pushing his way through.
So he is fighting that car, and that probably explains the lap times. He is in the pack there of drivers who are fighting each other. It's most likely why he hasn't been able to get a good lap time in. So let's see now once he gets space, if he's able to put in better times.
Lima is in the pits right now. Is he going to come out in front of everybody? Just coming in on that last turn?
It seems really close. I mean,
he is out. Yeah, he's ahead. So there's the race. That's the race leader, basically.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I think
Quicksilver,
Durkee, Tyler, and Dylan haven't pitted yet.
no, absolutely, you're right there. But
Average pit stop is with going in and coming out of the pits is around 30 seconds. I think 35 seconds, something like that,
okay.
depending on the
Jakes
damage.
if you say that, then Jakes is currently, I would say, in third position. I mean, he's 32 seconds. He's 32 seconds behind Durkee, and you say 30-second pit stop. So it's quite possible you will be able to leapfrog, get the jump on Durkee. Let's just look at his time there. Durkee with the last lap 8, so that's pretty much cruising compared to Jake's at 153. Let's see if Jake's has managed to get a bit of space and put in some good hot laps here. Terry, I'm just looking at these times at 149. So Terry doing nice pace at the moment. You see there, he's making life a little bit difficult for Jake's. Jake's is not able to pass, and that's why Jake's is stuck down there at the moment in sixth position. Terry goes a little bit wide, and that's,
because that always happens.
that always does happen. You're right.
That always happens. Every time you guys talk about me, I'm like lost immediately, which happens naturally. But
Yeah, we talk about you a lot.
yeah, no, not really, because usually I'm out at the end of the race. But yeah, there goes Jake's into fifth position.
In the pits, and he now exits the pits.
Come out,
He's come out behind. And there's Jake's now going through the first corner, so not very far ahead. There you see Quicksilver, and there's Jake's now. Roughly about what is that? 5 seconds.
It seems that way, yeah.
I can't really tell.
But Lando managed to get in front of Durkee that way. It must have been really close, and we sort of missed it by like 2 seconds.
Lindell was leading the race,
but not by a lot, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
So we have to see what's going to happen here.
But now Dylan up into second position. But remember, Tyler and Dylan out in front. So we have our new leader, which is Tyler at the moment. He still needs to pit, followed by Dylan. I wonder if they maybe, I mean, we're only halfway. I wonder if they will try maybe build up a bit of a gap. I mean, they've got a clear space track in ahead of them where the rest of the guys are fighting at the moment. Why not take advantage of that situation and put in some hot laps to try leapfrog a couple of guys in the pits.
We're just jumping back to Jake's over here because that's the biggest battle at the moment.
Oh, it looks like Terry's gone past again. So Terry managed to gain that position again. So Jake's obviously pushing a little bit too hard and has made a mistake pass. And now he's got his work cut out for him all over to try and force Terry into a mistake to get position. So I mean, this could essentially work out well for Dylan if he can carry on with a bit of space, just increase that gap and possibly finish ahead of Jake's game.
I think he will be able to be ahead of Jake's, but that depends if he can take the damage off the car, when they go into the pits, because if you forget to do that, they're going to keep you in the pits and not let you out.
I just want to see what
2 wheels for Rudy.
Yeah, excellent driving there, Rudy. What's there you got Terry with 14 seconds, Jake's with a 4-second penalty. So Dylan definitely still has opportunity to quite possibly finish on the podium if he carries on with his exciting laps. He's currently matching the pace of the leader, 149.6 on that last lap. He has a 18-second lead, I think, on Lendl, and
he's managing to hold it though, which is good news.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he should consider going to the pits now. I mean, there's a 30-second gap. If not, Yeah, let's work that out. 27-second gap on Jake's at the moment.
But pit stop a bit faster as well. So 30-second was my estimation. 35 seconds was my estimation with damage as well. So I don't know. I haven't pitted without any damage ever. So.
No, but I think 30 seconds is sort of a good target to work on. See Jake.
And let's not forget that you have to go under 60 kilometers per hour, else you get a very nice drive through a 10-second penalty or something.
That's why Terry's picked up a penalty. I think it's for that exact reason of over 14 seconds. Yeah, but doing really well to keep Jake's behind him at the moment. Fighting for that 5th position, even though he has that penalty, so it's pretty much in vain, but still, yeah, we still great to watch these two battle.
And as for Tyler, and his penalty, you know what? It's racing. You're enjoying being in the front, and you basking in the glory that is the first place for as long as it lasts.
It's good for advertisement, showing him his skills, the branding on his car. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets 0 cents from that.
No cents for that, yes. But there's still a sense of accomplishment, front.
That's all it is, and that's all you want, basically, in the end. Dylan pushing hard.
Yeah, definitely closing that gap between himself and Tyler, and still keeping those times pretty low. On the last lap of 150 dead, still 2 seconds quicker than Tyler on that previous lap. So I'm sure Tyler will be seeing Dylan in the background. So still looks like we still got a few laps left here, around about 6 laps in total.
And let's just remind everybody that these two guys in the front have not pitted yet. So
yeah, so your virtual leaders as well would be Lendl and then Durkee, who's in 4th at the moment. Jake's has managed to get past Terry now. I'm just looking at that. Has finally managed to get past Terry. He's now in technically 3rd position. Well, it's between him and Dylan for 3rd position at the moment. So now Jake's will have a clear track. With times dropping down to 149.6. So clear track now. Let's just see if he can reach that gap to Terry behind him at the moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, we still have about 6 laps left to go. And some exciting racing this evening, I must say. The first race was probably the most exciting one for me. It was a random grid position, so you started basically where the computer puts you, and then you have to make your way to the front of the grid. Wherever you finish the first, start a reverse. So it kind of just makes it interesting, and it truly shows your driving skill if you can manage to fight through the field. Sometimes the first race starts in the head, sometimes you start at the back. So yeah, it's just the luck of the draw.
It sort of makes it fair for all the drivers that aren't that skilled to have a fighting chance, I think.
Yeah, it just makes it also interesting to watch. I wish they would do it for. It would be awesome to see that the top runners start at the back of the field through. I think it'll be quite exciting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not going to agree with that, though.
No, they'll never agree to that. But we can only wish for thinking.
We'll come back to the news.
Yeah.
Dylan trying to take advantage of what's going on there. Driving with a damaged car, I can only guess.
I would say at this point he needs to come in person now to fighting with Tyler is like Jake's. Jakes is really now putting in quick 149.3s. He does have that bit of advantage. I think now's the time to go pit. Don't fight with Tyler. Get the pits over and done with, and then hopefully you have a bit of time to fight with Jakes if you can. And of course, he doesn't take my advice and just goes starts the next lap.
Yeah, but Dylan, as the founder of SARCO, is also allowed to not pit and have no penalty. So I'm just kidding. Of course, that doesn't happen at SARCO. We're fair for everybody here at SARCO. Well, we try to be.
No, just kidding. Yeah, just to reverberate your point, it's fair and square for everyone. But guys, if you do want to participate, please tell all your friends, your mates, your family to come and join us. Check out our website. Check out the Facebook site. I know most of you love Facebook, so check that out and find out when you can come and join us. There are some places left for the Alpha, for the Assetto Corsa League. We've only done one race, so there's still a chance for you to come and join and show us what you're made of. And come and enjoy it.
Come and get hooked on sim racing.
Yeah,
basically.
It's a good, clean drug.
We've all made the mistake and enjoyed our mistake as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, is there anyone you'd like to look at to see what's going on here, or are we just sticking with
I'm wondering when these guys are going to decide to pit. That's for me the most interesting. Dylan's in second position at the moment, but I'm sure. I mean, they've got literally 4 laps left to go. And I'm wondering if this is the right time. He has basically dropped back. There you see now, okay, Tyler going into the pits.
It's what I told you, you want to be out in front, man. Even if you know that you still have to pit, you still want to be out in front.
Yeah. Getting some ad time now for his sponsors.
I mean, if there is a gap and you don't go for that gap, then you are no longer a racer, is something that I think the great Ayrton Senna once said.
Yes.
So if you can be in first place and you don't go for it, then you are no longer a racer.
Absolutely. So I'm wondering if you maybe were going to the pits, but it's I don't know, unless he's leaving it right the last lap. Lendl,
We'll have to wait and see, because
I'm just looking at those times now. I mean, Lendl a 140, 148, Durkee 148, and then Jake's pushing like crazy.
unless Dylan wanted to see when Terry went in.
Well, Terry has a 14-second penalty, so I mean it's not really.
Yeah, but I think he might have even waited just to see how long it took Terry to come out, and then calculate, because Dylan likes calculating things, to see how long it would take, the pit to take, the pit stop to take, and then see if he can come out in like third or fourth or second or first place, maybe. But it's becoming highly unlikely at this moment.
Yeah,
It seems that the pit stops are around 25 seconds if you don't do anything to the car. So I have to guess coming in now.
I mean, he's got 4 seconds on Jakes. If you could just go to the, there you go. Your guess is correct. Maybe he just listens to you rather. Your family. So there he goes into the pits now. Where will he come out? I mean, now Lendl now coming through the and he'll be
coming very fast.
The main straight. I'm actually interested to see where Jakes is at the moment. That's who Dylan will be.
Dylan is coming out. Oh, he hasn't even gone in yet.
What?
A bit strange. Okay. Did he crash somewhere? Did he spin somewhere in the beginning of the pits? Because these are pretty simple pits.
Yeah, so he's definitely, I think, made a mistake there, and that's dropped him right down to 5th at the moment. So that advantage that he have has now been lost. So he comes out behind Terry, and we know Terry has a 14-second penalty. So he's current position, I would say, is down in fourth. So
Jakes has a
there we-
4-second penalty, so Dylan just has to get within 4 seconds, Jakes,
Yeah.
to get a podium tonight. And then we'll have to take an interview of himself. And at the moment, he has those 4 seconds, from what I can see. He's just under 4 seconds to Jake.
Come on, Dylan! So
There's
looks
some
like
exciting driving tonight.
Yeah. So good show here about the Green Mamba gangbang. Gangbangers.
Gang coconuts.
Good. Oh, is that how you use it? So the word replaced with coconut is actually a very bad word, is what you're saying.
Yeah, or a bad meaning as well, yeah. So,
Bad meaning,
yeah.
okay. Alright.
So you would say vibrating coconuts, basically.
Okay, alright. My apologies to the viewers out there.
I mean, forget mamba fever. Coconut fever is a thing. A lot of people have adapted that, actually.
Coconut fever. So we've got two more laps left to go, and Lendel's still in front at the moment with a blistering pace on that last lap of 1:48.8. So I think it's pretty much set, and he's the only driver penalty. As
Something
you see
happened there.
now,
But Jake's pushing. I think Jake's pushing a bit too hard to get away from Dylan. He's trying to open up that gap, apparently.
well, now Dylan's got a penalty, so I think it would be all in vain if he gets another penalty right now. But yes, Dylan needs to close the gap. You're looking at the times there. Last lap there, Dylan 2:10, supposed to, but I would imagine it's from his. So Jake's at 1:49 there. It's pretty much settled on third position at the moment, where Durkee in second. We haven't really seen much of. So he's been quietly going around doing his own business there in second position, and a good solid race for him as well. Come back into the second race.
Apparently, Lendl also bribed Durkee to stay in second position.
Oh, did he?
That's exactly what happened.
So,
But it can be neither confirmed nor denied, or there's actually no rumor about it. It was absolutely made up right now. So he will keep his second position from Lendl, and Lendl will take this one as well. Wait, who took the first one? Lendl, right?
There's still one more lap. Yes, I think it was.
Absolutely the best commentating from myself ever. So, Dylan is within 4 seconds, but what's going on with those timings? Dylan was 2 seconds, Jake's was 4
Jake's
seconds.
obviously made a mistake somewhere and it dropped back. So Dylan is within and has managed to actually get past Terry. So Dylan now into fourth position, and
Terry made a huge mistake, and he's all the way down there.
Yeah. So let's see now.
1 second. Well done, Dylan. Wait, let's just go there. What am I doing?
I don't know.
Sorry. I was looking at the times.
There you go. Dylan's within 1 second of Jake. So that's we're basically on the last lap. So if you get it together, he could finish on the podium this evening. And we see there Jake's going a little wide again. But let's not forget the front runners. Lendl, you should be crossing the line very. If we could just move it there, we have Lendl. And right behind him is, I said right 2.5 seconds behind him. We have Durkee, who seems to have been pushing on this last lap. And it's like, Lendl getting a little bit squiggly there, but manages to keep it going on the black stuff as we see him coming through the final corners. Good, clean drive here from Lendl, taking the second win for this evening, and followed by Durkee. And now for
Oh,
the
Dylan
final
lost some
cars,
time there.
he does, but I think he's still within striking distance. I just need to find out what penalty he picked up. He may, because he also picked up a penalty. Yes, and then we confirm
Yeah, that's confirmed. Dylan in third place.
he has finished by just finishing ahead of Jakes there. Then we have the guys coming over the line now.
In the top 3 positions, 4 positions, 5 positions since the beginning until he made a huge mistake there. You can see the damage in his car. Thanks for watching us.
So there you have it. Lendl coming in first position, followed by Jerky in second. Dylan fighting his way back. Incredible fight back there to third position. Jake's in fourth, followed by Tyler in fifth. Then Peter Brunt, sixth position. Robert in seventh. Brandon Santos in eighth. Rudy in ninth. And we have Steven down in 10th position. And I think further down we'll see Terry and could be Rockstar Mall.
Excellent. So that's it from me.
Is that for you? Not going to do the interview?
I don't do the interviews. No, that's for Dylan to do the interviews. I'll let you do that. I'm no good with interviews with live people.
Oh, okay. You're just going to leave us now. Love us.
Absolutely. Yes, in the cold water, as we say in Greek.
Used and abused. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time.
Good night, people.
Cheers, Memo. Thank you so much for joining us. And hope to see you next week. Please get some practice.
Yeah, I'll be here on Thursday. Thank you for anyone interested. ACC, Thursday nights.
Yeah. That's going to be epic.
How's it, Ashley?
Well done, Dylan. I was shouting for you.
Thank you,
The whole race.
I know what happened there. Jake slowed down and gave me my third place after my dramatic roll.
But then also, I mean, I think there was only like 2 tenths at the end because you had a 2-second penalty, he had a 4-second.
Yeah.
And,
so basically, what I was trying to do is I was trying to catch up to him, and I landed up giving myself a penalty. Going through what was it? I think it's turn 11. Going through turn 12. The car just snapped on me and it cut the corner, so it gave me 2 seconds there. And I did try and slow it down, but unfortunately to no avail.
Well, there was a mighty fight back, and yeah, it was great to watch. So well done for your podium position this evening.
So I do want to say thank you, my Jakes, for giving me that position. that was very tough, very, very tough.
It looked like a exciting race.
So we're just waiting for Dirkie to join us, and then we can just finish off with the drivers' interviews. So actually, what was it like to be back behind the commentary box again?
I actually really enjoyed myself. Thank you, Dylan.
Absolutely fantastic. So do you want to kick off the interviews? Go for it.
Okay, so who... I can't remember who...
Okay, so I came in third.
Okay, right. Well, Dylan, a fantastic comeback in the second race there. You had some... First race. You battled to come through the field, but nevertheless, you did manage to finish sixth, and that put you on the pole position for the second race. Talk us through your 2 races.
So the first race started at the back. It was very tricky at the back there. I don't know how Dirkie just managed to like weave his way through. I was watching him just go into the distances. That was really awesome to see. And literally I had a liberty spin. There was some traffic up in front, and I grabbed the brakes and I spun. So I started from the back again. And my mission was just to get into that 6th place. And eventually Brandon did a huge rollover, which was right in front of me. That was pretty scary. And then yeah, just got my head down for the last race, had a little bit of a rollover. I think it was about lap 2 from Jake's, I think it was, because I saw him staying on the side of the track and he ended up giving me that position. So thank you, my Jakes. If it wasn't for you, if it was for you, I wouldn't be here. I don't know which is the way to look at it, but thank you. Yeah, it was an awesome race.
Great to watch. Thank you, guys. And then Dirkie, you also had you had a start at the back of the field in the race and put your way through. Did exceptionally well. And then in the second race, you looked like you were catching Lendl towards the end, applying the pressure. Talk us through your 2 races.
Yeah, the first one was very bad luck. I was in the back with Dylan. I got away a little bit, but there was so much happening in front of me. I just had to give positions back and avoid trouble. And Dylan passed me again, and he was far off. And I think on the last lap he had a little off, and I was right behind him, and I touched him. I had a lockup, and I touched him a little bit at the back, and I let him go again, and he landed up 6th. So yeah, he was in the distance for me in the first race and the second race. Second race was difficult. I was just trying to do catch up, and I was just like 1 lap in front. And when I went into the pits and came out, Lindell was way past me, and I've tried a bit, but I just couldn't catch up. The 1 lap I can catch up, and the next lap I lose it again when I overdrive the car. So Lindell was just too good for me tonight. Well done, Lindell.
Well done to you too. And Lendl, brilliant 2 races there. You were very lucky in the first race. You were in pole position. Was overtaken, I think, by Stephen. You managed to get away. That then I don't know what happened, but you managed to get past again. And then you did pretty well to then fight your way back again from 6th position up to get the win. Tell us about your 2 races.
Lendl, yes, off mute.
On mute, Lendl.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
That's it.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, no. No, look, I was kind of excited for that second race when I saw Dylan, me, Jakes, Dirkie, everyone together until all the chaos happened just in front of me, and just opened the door and I managed to grab the lead from there. I felt like Dirkie had a bit of pace on me. I don't know where he lost time in the pits or whatever, but it definitely kind of seemed like he had a little bit of an edge pace-wise. But when I saw I had a bit of a handy lead after the pits, I just tried to stay consistent, not make any mistakes, and worked out.
Well, great win there for the both races, and that puts you probably at the top of the standings at the moment, I would imagine. But still a long season ahead, and good luck for the next couple of races. Few races, should I say.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Awesome. So big thank you to the hosts this evening, as well as to our directors and our comeback commentator Ashley, who joined us this evening. To all the viewers that were out there, thank you so much for watching. Really awesome to see all those comments coming through. We do try and read all of them, so thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate all the support. Guys, we will be racing on Thursday. It does look like my computer has decided to work the entire race on a Monday, so let's see. We should get that stream up and running for you on Thursday. So that is round number 2 of our Assetto Corsa League. That is 2 sprint races, 1 day race and 1 night race. So come and check that out on Thursday. Absolutely awesome racing this evening. I'm still sweating. I might just have to go jump in the shower before I hit the sack. And a big thank you to all the drivers. Without you, this would not be possible. Guys, have an absolute fantastic evening. Ashley, any closing words from you?
Thank you so much for inviting me this evening. I actually had a really great time, and hopefully I can come back soon. And guys, if you want to take part, as I mentioned, check out the website, check out our Facebook page, come and register, tell your friends, tell your family. The more drivers we have, so until next time, cheers for me.
Guys, we'll see you on Thursday. Keep racing, and thanks for watching. Yos.